Invictus, fashion desperation. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Harry's wife is plummeting to new levels of desperation in an attempt to be taken seriously and also, of course, to pursue those prime aims vis-a-vis fuel, control, character traits and residual benefits. And part of the way that she's seeking to do that, as I've explained previously, is with regard to trying to be a celebrity. But also, she's trying to relaunch matters with regard to fashion. And in a clearly sycophantic piece that must have been paid for in the Telegraph newspaper of all places, the fashion director, Bethan Holt, tells us how brand Harry's wife will soon be dominating fashion. It would appear that the level of delusion has just increased. On September the 7th, New York Fashion Week will be in full swing. But while that is taking place in the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's adopted homeland, Harry's wife will be putting on her own competing fashion show of sorts across the Atlantic in Dusseldorf, Germany, while accompanying her husband at the Invictus Games. As well as being an important reminder of Prince Harry's continued commitment to one of the causes that has been closest to his heart since before he met his wife, it will also provide the ideal platform for what has been billed as Harry's wife's fashion relaunch. So we've already had an attempted relaunch of her personality and character in relation to attending a Beyoncé concert twice. Now we're getting a relaunch of her as fashion icon. Yes, despite the fact that Kermit Goes to Church, one of our jars is missing, Chairman Mao does New York, Fridge by Valentino, Zebra Crossing by Grift, Poo Emoji Hat, Hyacinth Bouquet's settee cover, Tent by Army Surplus, etc., etc., it's quite clear that Harry's wife persists in believing that she is going to be a fashion icon. But not only that, her rampant narcissism causes her to hijack an event which is all about injured and unwell service people and decide that it's there for her to launch her fashion. That just shows the absence of emotional empathy regarding this woman, her complete and abject failure to take other people into account, and her self-preoccupied and self-obsessed nature. A week of public appearances will see her wearing multiple outfits, possibly even several a day. A flagship moment to reassert her status as a style influencer. At a time when she is thought to be on the brink, yet again, of returning to Instagram and bringing back some version of her lifestyle blog, The Tig, which she was forced to shutter when she became engaged to Harry. I'm getting back on Instagram, Harry's wife told magazine The Cut in September 2022. The years passed and so far nothing. A page simply called @Harry'sWife has been quietly gathering followers for months and is thought to belong to the Duchess, though so far there have been no posts and the profile picture is just a close-up of a pink dahlia. I thought it was peonies, but there we are. Meanwhile, sources have told the Telegraph that preparations for a new iteration along the lines of the Tig have been underway for several months. Sounds like a lot of future faking to me. Harry's wife's style choices at the Invictus Games have a track record for making a serious impact. At the 2022 event in the Netherlands, the Duchess wore a pendant by British jeweller Sophie Lees to a friends and family reception, bringing up the past triangulation. It was a real pinch-me moment for the brand, says Liz. I knew she owned a collection of pieces from the brand, but nothing quite prepares you for the Harry's wife effect. I'm sure it does not. I am a huge fan of Harry's wife's style, so it was a real honour she chose to wear my designs, and the attention we received was like nothing I'd ever experienced before, and we've been worn by lots of high-profile celebrities in the past. Liz adds that she had press in every publication around the world, it became front-page news, and we saw a huge spike in sales, particularly in the American market, which remains the case today. There can be no arguing that Harry's wife remains a global influencer. Equally, when Harry's wife wore Mother Denim's Looker jeans for her first ever public appearance with Harry at the 2017 Invictus Games in Toronto, the impact for the brand was remarkable and long-lasting. On the day of the couple's wedding, 9 months after Harry's wife wore the jeans, the label saw a 4,000-strong waiting list form for the style, leading them to restock it 3 times that season to keep up with demand. That day, she also wore a husband's shirt by her friend Misha Nonu and carried US label Everlane's £123 tote bag. Both labels have seen a lift due to the Harry's wife effect ever since. Now, do you know what I see that's happening here? I don't really think there is so much of a Harry's wife effect. They are again trying to talk up that there could be one by getting people interested in the supposed fashion relaunch, another attempt to dupe people. Other brands will be hoping for a similar boost in the next few days, and when it comes, it will give further fuel to Harry's wife's team at LA talent agency WME, who will be working to secure brand tie-ups for this new Gwyneth Does Goop phase of her career. The power of a celebrity is still as strong as ever, and the lines have blurred between a content creator and a celebrity. Both have the power to influence in equal measure, notes Lauren Stevenson, the founder of communications agency Aisle 8, of the kind of position that Harry's wife and her team will be vying for. Brands which select the right personality, understanding their social content, currency and audience, as well as negotiating longer-term partnerships, which are part of the celebrity's everyday life, feel more authentic than one-post, product-led, ad-tagged hit. You're aiming to create collaborations and content that looks as organic as possible. Well, undoubtedly, Harry's wife would gravitate towards that individual using authentic and organic. If Dusseldorf is to be the hard launch setting for fashion Harry's wife, then the past few months have been a soft launch phase. The Duke and Duchess haven't made an official public appearance since May, but several sightings of the former actress have offered clues about her future direction, now that their deal with Spotify has ended, along with the tell-all projects reflecting on their departure from the royal family, including last December's Netflix documentary and the release of Harry's autobiography, Spare, in January. In the first week of September, Harry's wife was spotted dancing at 2 of Beyoncé's Renaissance World Tour concerts in LA, both times adhering, for the first time she'd ever done this, to the silver dress code the singer asked attendees to adopt in celebration of her birthday. The Duchess looked slinky and toned, one night wearing a white tank top and sequin silver skirt, and the next when she was pictured posing alongside Kerry Washington and singer Kelly Rowland, wearing a halter neck top by LA-based Annie Bing and a more subtle sparkling skirt by another California brand, Heidi Merrick. Then there was a striped dress by cool Australian brand Posse that Harry's wife wore to celebrate her birthday in August. You might know it as Zebra Crossing by Grift. The style was later worn by actress Katie Holmes, exactly the kind of comparison the Duchess might want to be fostering. A version of the dress will soon be available to buy in the United Kingdom for £218. It's a smart move for the Duchess to be affiliating herself with up-and-coming insider American labels. Harry's wife is viewed much more favourably in the United States. Is she now? Well, in an immediate passing video, she was on a -2 approval rating. So that individual making that observation clearly doesn't know what they're talking about. The article continues in a similar vein, which is all really based about trying to talk up her fashion credentials and how the Invictus Games are going to be utilised for a fashion relaunch. First of all, this appears to me to be another example of Harry's wife's wishful thinking and manifesting, whereby she arranges for PR puff pieces to be pumped out and has paid for this article in The Telegraph to suggest that she's on the up and that people want to work with her. The evidence is actually to the contrary, but she believes the more she talks about it, the more likely it is it's going to happen. Furthermore, it demonstrates again her level of self-absorption is through the roof, that she's perfectly content to utilise her husband's charity work as a means to showcase her fashion. It's meant to be about resilience, determination, overcoming adversity, blood, sweat and tears. And once again, Harry's wife debases all of the noble ambition of the Invictus Games by trying to turn it into a fashion show about her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.